Hello, in this video I want to discuss AI-based recommendations when it comes to products and how we can really change the game with that and make our product recommendations much more accurate, especially in flows where it really matters. It's more about sending an email and just making it super easy for the customer to check out and find what they're looking for than necessarily having a super branded emails. In this case, you can see the template is pretty simple, and the reason we're doing that is to just have very clear space, very clear message. Here's your product, here's your button to check out, and here's some more products. So as we cycle through these events here, we can see that we're recommending products based on what was most viewed. So you can see here in this example, we're recommending a lot of wallets, right? So if someone's viewed a bag, it looked like, wallets are best sellers. So it makes sense that wallets are gonna be shown predominantly. And you can see here, these are people, we're cycling through different events. These are people that have viewed backpacks. And it turns out that the audience for backpacks is a completely different audience than the audience for wallets. As you can imagine, if you're shopping for a wallet, you're not going to be convinced to buy a backpack instead. It's a very different need. So you can see all these events here. We're showing, based on data, we're showing the best-selling products, but we're still missing the mark with a lot of these customers that are looking at different products. So you can see it makes sense when it's a wallet. I'm going to stop doing this now because I think you're getting the point, but it's always showing wallets and it's showing the same wallets, which makes sense because if you look at how we've set it up, I'm just gonna move this. If you look at how we set this up, it is shop popular all categories. So this is show products from all categories, show best-selling products over the last 90 days. So this is a good setup if you're selling products where every product could be bought by the same audience. So for example, if you are selling, actually most stores where you have a lot of SKUs, you're probably going to need some sort of customization for that. So how do we do that? Of course, we could build a bunch of different products feeds and try to build a bunch of splits into our flow, but then it would make things very messy, hard to maintain, and error prone, and it wouldn't be a very good setup. So what we can do instead is build a different product feed here, and I've already done that, but I'm gonna just walk you through how to do it. It's very simple. You just select this, right? Product a customer may also like, and it just requires knowing that this is there. This is just kind of a hidden thing that's not always available. You may want to just default to this default Klaviyo feed, but just know that there are lots of other options to set up a feed, and this is one of them, and this is a very powerful one. So you can see here, customers, I would probably go with the option with the most data, both view and purchase history. And then it just finds out what this customer may like more than, rather than what everyone else has bought before. And then there's a fallback here. So in this fallback, I think we would still want to do best selling most viewed products, for example, and then over the last 90 days. I don't know why there's only these two options, but I like to go with a bigger time frame to have more accurate data. And then you can add additional filters. In this case, I'm going to not do that. I want to just let the AI be completely free to make recommendations it wants. So we kind of have in mind that before this, it was only showing wallets. And now let's preview the same exact events, but this time we have the new feed. So in this case, we're seeing wallets, which is, keep in mind, this is possible because a person might have looked at wallets, they might have purchased and looked at wallets. So we still want to show wallets in some cases, even in combination with packs. But now as we cycle through, this is another wallet, showing wallets. Okay, lots of wallets. Makes sense that these are the best selling ones. Sorry. Oh, I didn't change my product feeds. So that explains that. We're going to switch it to recently viewed. Select product feed. Okay, so the first one is still wallets. And this is probably going to be wallets as well. But now, okay, now we can see a backpack snuck in there. Why? Because, you know, even if this is a wallet, the person must have looked at a pack or bought a pack before, or, you know, somehow engaged with backpacks in the sense that Klaviyo thought, you know, we're still going to show them two different wallets, but we're also going to put a backpack in there. And this is the level of customization that you're not going to get even if you make you know, category-based splits in a super complex setup where based on the wallet or backpack category they're only going to see these products. What if they were looking at wallets but they also were kind of looking at backpacks? We still want to give them those options, right? So now you can see here it's getting a little bit more customized. We're getting this pouch, for example, in there. So you can see it's different from the last event, even though they, you know, they viewed a similar product. So now with backpacks, you can see it completely changes. Someone viewed a backpack, they're only going to be shown backpacks. And this is not a set rule. This is just this customer seems like they were very interested in backpacks. I'm not going to go into this too much. I think, you know, the idea is very simple, but this is just to show you how big of a difference it can make to go from a static, you know, manually set recommended, you know, feed, even if it's based on data, right? It's still manually set, to going to something that is analyzed by an AI and generated based on the customer's preferences. You can see, you know, you can imagine a much more diverse profile combination here from just looking at these events. You know, you can really imagine that people are looking at different products here. So I'm going to stop here. I think this is pretty clear now, and I hope this helped. If you didn't know about this feature, this is a great one to use. Very simple, as you can see. It takes a couple of minutes to set it up and change it. So I would, you know, you can leverage that, not just, this is a browser abandonment, but you can leverage that in all your flows that have recommended products. So I hope this helps. Thank you for watching, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Thank you.